Aloha.
Aloha.
Pehea oi.
Mai ka mahalo.
Hoi kai.
E hia kala no ke ia?
Oh, he kana kolu kala. Ai. Maki oi ka eke na pareu.
A ole, maki au I ke ia lole. A ka oma o.
Oh, hiki no. Ma'anei. Oma o.
Ai.
Hiki no. Kana kolu kala ke olu. Oh, kala mai. Ai.
Mahalo.
Mahalo. Kala mai a ohea u change.
A ole pilikia.
Vai kai vai oi. Aloha, welcome to Kulāiwi. Today we're going shopping. Ku'ai hele kako. Ku'ai hele, shopping. We'll be going over commands and suggestions. How do we tell somebody to do something, or how do we suggest that we do something together? So we'll be going over that. So I'd like you to sit back, relax, pay attention, listen to the keywords that you know. Okay, so I'll see you after a couple of minutes. Ahui ho.
Nana, kuai emi ke ia.
Maki au, ai kia ora. Ai kako.
Awe, poloni mauna kane.
E hele kako.
Alia. Maki au I ke ia. Pehea, maki oi ke ia.
Puka ke na lole.
Sa, puka kou lole. Aloha, maki o ko I ke kokua. A ole, mahalo. Iki no. Pehea ke ia.
Ano li'i kena.
O e kuai ke ia ke olu.
A ole, loa.
Aue, ua poina wau. E hele kako I KB.
Maki ai hele KB.
Ai, maki wau e ku'ai ka makana laha nau na ke alohi.
O vai o ke alohi?
O, oia ku'u hoa hanau e piha ana na makahiki e ono iaia. E hele paha kako I kana pa'ina laha nau ma ka po a ono.
Hiki
Oh,
no.
hiki no. Oh, hele kako I KB.
Ai, e hele kako.
O makau, oi, kau pai kaua.
Ma kau wau.
E kunane, nana mai ke ia. Maki na kai ka mahine I kia ano ki I pepe.
O ia.
Nana oi ke ia.
Hawi mai iau ke olu. Ai, hoi ke ia mau mea pa'ani. E huli kako I na ki I holo. E, nana mai ke ia ki I pea. Palu kona hulu. A he kiuke no hoi oia. A alohi kona mau maka. He nani maoli no.
E hapi mai iau. Maki au e hopai kona hulu. Oh, ai. Palu kona hulu. A nani no oia. He makana mai ka I ke ia.
Ai, aka. Makue kona mau maka. Pololei oi loai. He makana mai ka I ke ia. Olu oi, kunane. Kuai wau ke ia.
Ai, laki ko hoa hanau. Lawe au I ka lei ka pāina.
Aloha. So Behea, wasn't that fun? Did you pick up as much as you could? Okay, what you're going to see today is a little addition to those simple verb sentences that we've been learning all along. Remember, we had sentences like Aiau I ka lau, Inuau I ka vai. Okay, real simple sentences. We're going to add one tiny little word into the sentence, and it's going to change the whole mana'o, the whole kind of sentence. Okay, by adding e in the beginning of the sentence, e. Now remember, we're speaking Hawaiian, so that's not an a, that's an e. And we say something like, e ai kako, e ai kako. Let's all eat. Okay? Can you say that with me? E ai kako, e ai kako. Did you say that? Okay. We want to try it again? E ai kako. Maikae. Okay, what if it was let's drink? Einu kako. Okay, what if it's let's read? Come on. Helu kako. Maikae. Some of you, I know you're studying out there, and so I know you know the words, okay? Let's try it again. Let's eat. Ai kako. Okay, let's take a look at that under the L1 and see what it says, how it looks. E ai kako. And you see, this is the part that we can substitute. Of course, we can substitute this too, you know, who's doing it. But we would like to substitute just the verb for now, okay? E ai kako. Let's eat. This is the part All of us, okay? You, me, and everybody, okay? E ai kako. What if it was, let's go, let's go? Are you thinking? Have you figured it out? Okay, that means we have to change ai. We're going to change ai to hele, mai kai. E hele kako. Okay? E hele kako. Let's go. Okay? So, let's think about how would we say, now going back to last week, okay? Let's go to the movies. Can you remember that one? Let's go to the movies. E hele kako ike ki'i oni oni. Mai kai. I. Remember that? That was from last week. We had this one. E hele kako ike ki'i oni oni. Let's go to the movies. How about let's eat popcorn? How would you say it? Am I giving you some time? Are you looking at each other going, e ai, mai kai, e ai, and what's next? Kako, mai kai, e ai kako, ike kulina poha poha, mai kai. Now, this pattern can also be used to tell someone to do something, okay? So we hear Lawa'e, when she picks up this dress, she says, e ku ai ike ia lole. E ku ai ike ia lole. Okay? Ku ai, buy. Remember, we had that from last week, okay? So, e ku ai ike ia lole. Are you thinking? Is your mind going? Okay. What if it's, buy this book. E ku ai ike ia puke. Okay? E ku ai, mai kai. Okay? What if we wanted to change that and say, let's buy this dress? Are you thinking? Are the wheels turning? This is not pupule. This is, are the wheels turning? Okay? E ku ai kako ike ia lole. Ai. E ku ai kako ike ia lole. But in this case, we're going to see that the subject is different when you tell somebody, buy this clothes. Let's take a look. Okay? Here we have, e ku ai ike ia lole. Now, in here, right in there, okay, is where we would normally put who's doing this action, right? Well, in this case, we can leave it out or we could put it in. In this case, she's talking to Malani and she wants him to do it. So she says, e ku ai oi ike ia lole. Okay? E ku ai oi ike ia lole. But because it's understood that she's talking to him, she doesn't have to say, you buy this clothes, but just buy this dress. Okay? Buy this dress. E ku ai ike ia lole. Hikino? Okay, so you could say, e ku ai oi ike ia lole, or just e ku ai ike ia lole. Okay, you can either put it in or you can leave it out if it's understood who's talking. Okay? Mai kai. So we just came out of e ku ai oi ike ia lole. Okay? Or it could have been e ku ai ike ia lole. Hikino? Now let's go back. Now tell me, let's go to KB. We hear Kunane say, let's go to KB. Are you saying that? Okay. Olelo oko. E hele kako EKB. Gosh, that's so easy, yeah? If you wanted to say, let's go around the island, you could say, e hele kako around the island. You know, like I said, if you don't know the whole thing in Hawaiian, it shouldn't stop you from wanting to speak, okay? What you do is you just throw it in English, and then later on you go off and you find out how you could say the rest of it in Hawaiian, okay? But at least try to use the part that you know, okay? What if you wanted to say, let's go shopping? Do you remember what I said on the other side, what shopping was? Ku ai hele, ku ai, and you're moving at the same time, so you're kind of going shopping, yeah? E ku ai hele kako. Right, so that's easy. So once again, tell me, let's go to KB. Did you say e hele kako EKB? mai ka'i. Let's take a look. Okay. Polole, ehele kako ikb. You see how we can change where we're going. You could say anything. Ehele kako I alamoana. Ehele kako I kekula. I kekula. To school. Okay? Yeah. All of us could say that in the morning when we leave. In the morning, we say, ehele kako I kekula. Yeah, to our friends. And even if your friends don't speak Hawaiian, you can teach them. You can try it out. Ehele kako I kekula. Mai ka'i. Okay, what if you wanted to somebody to give you something? Let's take a look at this, because this is something a little bit new. E ha'avi mai. Ha'avi, give, okay? E ha'avi mai. And some of you may be asking, what is that mai over there for? I thought mai means come, okay? Of course, ke olu means please. But let's talk about this part, mai, okay? In Hawaiian, you have directionals, okay? Unlike English, and of course, I hate to always compare it, but what I think you might try to do is think, well, what is that like in English? There is nothing to compare in English like this, where we say to give me, okay? In Hawaiian, we make that verb come towards us. We make that action come towards us by saying which direction it's going, okay? So, e ha'avi mai. E ha'avi mai ke olu, yeah? Give, please, okay? Because, of course, give could be any way. But in this case, when you hear the mai, you know which direction it's going. It's coming towards the person who's speaking, okay? E ha'avi mai ke olu, okay? Kunani says to his friends, ehele mai I kapa'ina la hanau, okay? Birthday. Ehele mai. Now, hele, once again, meant go or to travel, okay? Or to move. Okay, which direction does he want them to move? Mai, which means what? Towards him, towards where he's going to be. Ehele mai I kapa'ina. Do you remember this word, pa'ina? Party? La hanau, birthday. Okay, now some people choose to say piha makahiki, okay, for birthday. When you fill a year, okay, when you complete a year, piha makahiki. So you could say ehele mai I kapa'ina piha makahiki, or ehele mai I kapa'ina la hanau. But once again, we want to focus in on this mai. It makes that action come towards the person who's talking, okay? Let's take a look at another example. You want somebody to look at this, okay? You're holding something, you tell them, enana mai ikeia. Enana mai ikeia. Okay? Mai, once again, coming towards me. Enana mai ikeia. Remember that verb? Nana. Okay? Not nana, or not nana, na. Enana mai ikeia. Look at this, okay? And which way do we want them to look? This way, okay? So let's check if you got the idea of mai, okay? Coming towards, okay? Okay, so today we've learned up to this point how to suggest that all of us go somewhere, how to tell someone to do something, and how to use that one little directional mai. Okay, which makes that action come this way. Now, if you want someone to look at something over there, you cannot use mai, okay? Because as you can see, the action that you want is not going to be coming this way, and that's the only time we use mai. It's going to be going that way, away from the person talking, okay? Now, I wasn't really going to teach this, but I think I can bring it up because you're probably wondering, well, if mai is this way, well, how do you say the other way, the opposite way? Aku, okay? And we're not talking bonito, we're talking aku, okay? So if you wanted to tell somebody, look over there, yeah? Enana aku versus enana mai. Okay? Just like hele, if you wanted someone to go away from you, ehele aku versus ehele mai. Okay? So I know some people will say, and I think we had a call once before, someone said, what is that, hele mai? You know, how come it says go come? Well, it doesn't really say that. Hele is the action of moving, of traveling, of going. The mai and the aku tell you which way this traveling is going to happen, okay? So e hele mai and e hele aku, okay? So let me just review one more time about mai and aku, okay? Remember that when you're coming towards, when you want that action to come towards the person talking, okay? That's all you have to remember is whoever's talking has to know whether it's mai or aku, okay? So when you tell somebody to come, e hele mai. Now some people may be out there going, but what is e komo mai, okay? Komo is to enter, to come through the door or to come through inside some place, okay? So you cannot be standing out in the open telling people, e komo mai. You don't know where they're entering, okay? Just e hele mai. In that case, you're out in an open field, you want somebody to come, you go, e hele mai. But if you're inside the room, somebody's outside, then you say, e komo mai. Get it? Okay, mai kai. I see we have one more phone call. Aloha.
Aloha e kumu kela.
Ai, aloha pehe oi.
Ai, kei hoi.
Mai kai, o wai ko inoa.
Pardon?
O wai ko inoa. What's your name?
O Kulāiwi ko inoa.
Oh, mai kai kalani, and no hea mai oi.
Pardon?
Where you from?
Oh, Kauai.
Oh, mahalo. Okay, hea kaunina. What's your question?
Yes. I was wondering if you would be able to say ke olu olu or ka olu olu.
Oh, ke olu olu.
Ke olu.
Yeah, that K over there, that's a good question. Oh, that's a Micah question. Mahalo, Kalani. Because that K is not the. That K is if you please or when you please. Okay? That's what that K is for. It doesn't mean the. It means if or when. Okay? So mahalo, that's a really good question. And now at the end of the sentence we say ke olu olu, but we could have also said it up in the front, e olu olu. You know, which would mean be content, be kind, be pleasant, and do this stuff for me. Okay? And that's how we could say it. We could say e olu olu, or we can say ke olu olu, depending on what you want to say. Okay? Mahalo, ahui ho kalani. Let's take a look at what Malani says when he throws that sword over, okay? He throws his pahikaua, the pahikaua, get it? Pahikaua. Okay, pahi is like knife and kaua is war, so you get it, pahikaua, okay? The great samurai and his great pahikaua, okay? So he throws his pahikaua over to Kunane and he says, e ho'omakau kau I kau pahikaua, okay? Ho'omakau kau, remember that word? We've had it before. Prepare your sword. E ho'omakau kau I kau pahikaua. Okay, let's look at that, okay? E ho'omakau kau I kau pahikaua. Mai kai. Let's take a look at what Kunane says when they start bringing the toys out to him, okay? Here they are, so happy to show him the toys they picked out, and he tells them, ho'i, ho'i. Ho'i, ho'i, put it back, okay? And you can see on Malani's face, he's a little, disgruntled that he picked out the toy and he gets told to ho'i, ho'i, his mea pa'ani. E ho'i, ho'i. Ina mea pa'ani. Remember this na over here? More than one, okay? Na mea pa'ani. Okay, mea pa'ani, toys. Mea pa'ani, they kind of go together, okay? E ho'i ho'i ina mea pa'ani. And once again, no more anything over here. There's no subject because it's understood that he's talking to both of them. And so we don't have to stick in the subject. We can just say, e ho'i ho'i ina mea pa'ani. Parents, now you can tell your keiki this. Now, I know what it's like to be a makua in a house with choke toys, okay? And that's when we start saying things to our little son, like, e ho'i ho'i ina mea pa'ani, okay? Okay, so you tell them, e ho'i ho'i ina mea pa'ani ke olu olu. And I'm sure they'd be so happy to ho'i ho'i these mea pa'ani. Okay. And then he says, let's look for a stuffed animal, okay? E huli kako ina ki'i holoholona. Ki'i holoholona. I'm sure somebody might probably have a better word for stuffed animal, but we thought this was kind of a cute word, okay? Holoholona, animal, ki'i is like a doll, okay? Ki'i holoholona. E huli kako ina ki'i holoholona. Huli is to look for something. Okay, there's also the word imi, but in this case, we want to use the word huli because we're going to kind of like turn things over to look for something, okay? E huli kako ina ki'i holoholona. Let's go on, and we heard Oh, that's right. We heard Lawa'e say, e ku'ai ke ia lole. And they told her, pupuka ke la lole. Remember the word pupuka? Agle, yeah? Pupuka. And she turns around and she goes, tia, pupuka ko lole. Yeah? That's a real Hawaiian sound, by the way. Tia. Yeah? Not to sa, but tia. Can you do it? If you do it, then you sound real Hawaiian. You sound like you really know what you're doing, okay? But she turns around and she goes, pupuka ko lole. Yeah, ko lole, just like ko inoa, oi ko inoa. Are you clicking with me? Pupuka ko lole. Did we see this yet? Pupuka. Okay. And nani ko lole. Remember the word nani? Nani, beautiful, yeah? Ko'u lole. Just like ko'u inoa, right? Ko'u. Okay, let's take a look at that again. Pupuka ko lole. Nani ko'u lole. How's that? I know people who would say something like that. Pupuka ko lole, and then tell me, but nani ko'u lole. Okay, mai ka'i. We also had another word, and it meant kind of, okay? Ano li'i li'i kena. Yeah, she picks up that little skimpy little dress and someone tells her, ano li'i li'i kena. That's kind of small. Now, you remember we saw the word kela before for that. And now we're seeing kena, okay? Kena is also that, but it's that when it's near the person who's listening, okay? Once again, let's try that again. Kena is when you're saying that when it's near the person who's listening. So if, say, hold up your pen or whatever you have in front of you, and I tell you, ano mai kai kena, okay? Whatever it is that you're holding, it's kind of good, okay? That's kind of good. But if that I'm talking about is far away from both of us or away from both of us, doesn't have to be real far like in Waimanalo, or if you're in Waimanalo in Kona, Hawaii, okay? That would be kela, okay? Ano mai kai kela versus that which is near the person who's listening. Ano mai kai kena. Tell me about my pen. Tell me that it's kind of good. Oh, we have, for lack of better things to say today, okay? Tell me. Ano mai kai. You need to say it because if I say it's going to be wrong. Kena mai kai polole. Okay? And for me, this is keia. This. Okay? So that's how we got kena over here. Okay. Ano li'i li'i kena. Ano, kind of. Okay? Ano pololi na kane, which is an understatement. Kane are never ano pololi. They're pololi loa, okay? Very hungry. Pololi loa na kane. And I'm going to hear it from somebody telling me, oh, you just stereotype kane. The kind kane I know are always pololi. Which takes us to the next one, which Lawa'e tells Malani when he wants to go eat. She tells him, pololi mau na kane. Mau, always, okay? Always. Pololi mau na kane. Okay? And we don't only have to use it with this. We could say, ai mau na kane. Kane are always eating. Okay? How terrible. We're just picking on the kane today. Okay? Ai mau na kane. Except that the kind of kane that I have, ai mau oya, but still VV oya. I don't know how he manages that, okay? Ai mau oya aka VV oya. VV is the opposite of momona, okay? Okay, let's take a look at the new words that we've learned today, okay? Or that we heard. Ikeia manava. Ikeia manava. At this time, okay? Which translates to now, okay? So if you wanted to say, let's go to the movies now, think about this. Let's go to the movies now. Ehele kako ike ki'i oni oni ike ia manava mai kai. That's right. We're going to just add ike manava. Just like remember how we were adding times to different sentences all the time? Like ike kakahiaka, ike awinala. You just add ike manava. Okay? Or you could start off your sentence with ike manava e hele kako ike ki oni oni. Okay? All right. Palu palu. We hear Kunani describing his bear as being palu palu, soft, okay? Palu palu, okay? And then some of you thinking, palu palu, I heard that word for something else. Don't even think about it, okay? It's palu palu, soft, okay? Also, he says, palu palu kona hulu hulu, his fur, okay? Hulu hulu is fur. Hulu is also body hair, okay? Alohi lohi, bright, okay? And hale ku'ai, okay? Hale ku'ai. Do you recognize that word? It's made up of two words here, okay? Hale ku'ai, okay? Do you see can you guess what it means? It means store, right? A house where you buy or where you sell. Because this is an interesting word too, ku'ai. If you say ku'ai mai, it means buy. But if you say ku'ai yaku, it means sell. You see the use of the mai and the aku again? Okay. Ho'opa. I think Lawa it says, oh, maki maki awe ho'opa. I want to touch it. Okay? Ho'opa. Okay? And the word makana, gift. Okay? Present. Yeah? So listen carefully when you see the vignette again because it tells you what, it uses all of these words, so then you can start plugging them in and going, okay, now I understand. Okay, I'm going to give you some time to for a little situation, okay, that you can think about as far as what you would do in that situation. Hui ho. Okay, well, if you didn't have enough time to think about how to tell Keola what you want him to buy, you keep on trying, okay? Hopefully you're using the pattern a something, right? That's how it's going to start. Your sentences are going to start with a something. The a goes only for sentences where you want to tell someone to do something or you want to suggest that a group of us do something, okay? Or even if you wanted to say, like somebody says, oh, who's going to wash the car? Of all things, yeah. Who's going to wash the car? You go, oh, e holoi au ike ka'a. That's okay, because then you'll say, I'll do it. It's a suggestion for yourself to do something. That works too. Okay, I know we have a phone call, so quickly I'll say aloha. Aloha.
Aloha.
Ah, pehea oi.
Maikai.
Maikai oi ko inoa.
O kuipo kalani ko uino.
Aloha kuipo kalani no hea mai oi.
No Honolulu mai au.
Maikai, and hea hakau ni no.
I would like to know what's the difference between aku and ma'o.
Oh, okay. Aku is just the directional, and ma'o really means over there. So if I wanted you to go over there, I would say, ehele aku ma'o, and point out where ma'o would be. Okay? Or I would have said before where ma'o was. Okay, but ma'o actually has a meaning. It means over there. Where aku, it doesn't really translate. When you try to translate into English, it cannot translate because it's just a directional. It's just a function kind of word. It just makes the action go away.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay,
Ahuiho. I'm going to give you a chance now. This is, of course, always the big test. Now, did you learn anything in the lesson, in the ha'awina, so that you can watch the vignette and maupopo and understand? Okay? So, e nana, ike ki'i oni li'i. Okay? And when we come back, I want to hear a whole bunch of, yeah, mai kai, maupopo ya'u. I understand, okay? Say that, maupopo ya'u. Oh, yeah, I hear everybody going, maupopo ya'u, mai kai. Okay, so kick back for a little while, enjoy this vignette, and I hope you're paying attention to all those little things I told you. Ahui ho.
Nana, Kulāiwi kia.
Maki ai, ai ki ona. Ai kako.
Awe, poloni mauna kane.
Ah, e hele kako.
Alia. Maki oi kia. Pehea, maki oi kia.
Puka ke na lole.
Sa, puka kou lole. Aloha, maki o ko ike kokua. Oh, ole mahalo.
Mahalo.
Iki no. Pehea kia.
Ano li'i ke na?
O e ku'ai kia ke olu.
A ole loa.
Aue, ua poina wau. E hele kako I KB.
Maki ai hele KB.
Ai, maki wau e ku'ai ka makana laha nau na ke alohi.
O vai o ke alohi.
O, oia ku'u hoa hanau e piha ana na makahiki e ono iaia. E hele paha kako I kana pa'i na laha nau ma ka po a ono.
Hiki
Oh,
no.
hiki no. Oh, hele kako I KB.
Ai, e hele kako.
O makau, oi, kau pai kaua.
Ma kau wau.
E kunane, nana mai ki ia. Maki na kai ka mahine kia ano ki I pepe.
O ia.
Nana oi ki ia.
E hawi mai iau ke olu. Ai, hoi ke ia mau mea pa'ani. E huli kako I na ki'i holoholona. E, nana mai ke ia ki'i pea. Palu kona hulu. A he kiuke no ho'i oia. A alohi kona mau maka. He nani maoli no.
E hawi mai iau. Maki au e hopai kona hulu. Oh, ai, palu kona hulu. A nani no oia. He makana maika I ke ia.
Ai, aka. Makue kona mau maka. Pololei oi loai. He makana maika I ke ia. Olu oi kunane. Ku'ei wau ke ia.
Ai, laki ko hoa hanau. Lawe au I ka lei ka pāina.
Maika'i. Mahalo to Lawa'e Malani and Kunane, because what they showed us today was the value of loko maika'i, okay, of being generous. Kunane seems like a real loko maika'i kind of guy, yeah. When they got to the movies last week, he had their likiki ready for them, and today he's thinking about buying a makana for his ho'ahanau. We heard that word, yeah, cousin, for his cousin, his ho'ahanau. And he looks at all these different things, and they tell him, oh, he kane loko mai ka'i oi. You're such a nice, generous guy, okay? Loko mai ka'i. It means generous. It means good. It literally means good inside, okay? And so to a very loko mai ka'i person who was named loko mai ka'i, we share this show with, because it's a good name. you know, although it's long and some people go, it's kind of strange. It's a beautiful word, loko mai ka'i, and it's something that we should practice. And I think, you know, if today in Hawaii we all practiced loko mai ka'i, we could live in a more beautiful Hawaii. Okay, and so that's the word for today. That's our value for today, and hopefully you're practicing that, loko mai ka'i. Okay, and hopefully you understood that vignette. There may have been some words. I think there was one part, you may have heard Lawa'e say, Aliyah, Aliyah, okay? And that meant, wait, hold on, okay? You say that? Aliyah, right. You may have heard the word kali, okay, to wait also, but I like the word Aliyah. It sounds nicer. Okay, so now today we've gone over e hele kako. It's hard to say ehele mai kako, okay, unless you're kind of walking in circles, okay? So you have to say ehele aku kako, okay? Ehele aku kako ika aina hiahi, okay? Ehele aku kako ike ki oni oni. But you want somebody to give you something. What was the word to give? Ha'avi, right? So e ha'avi mai ika mea inu. Mea inu is the same as, is like mea ai, right? Mea, thing, inu, yeah, something to drink. Mea inu, mea ai, okay? So e ha'avi mai ika mea ai, e ha'avi mai ika mea inu, e ha'avi mai I kapuke, okay? And of course you can say, you now know how to say now, okay? Sometimes we tell somebody to do something and we're still waiting, okay? So now how do we say right now? Ikeia manava, okay? So you want to tell somebody to bring the food now. E lave mai, lave, bring, okay? Lave mai is bring. And what do you think is take? E lave mai is bring. E lave aku is take, okay? E lave mai, e lave aku. Okay, so you want them to bring the food. E lave mai ika mea ai, and you want them to do it now. E lave mai ika mea ai, ike ia manava, mai kai. E lave mai ika mea ai, ike ia manava. Want them to take the food now? What do you have to change? E lave aku, ai mai kai. E lave aku ika mea ai, ike ia manava, mai kai. Okay? What else have we heard? Oh, you want to watch. Let's watch the movie, okay? Now, last week we had, I want to watch. But this week, let's say, let's watch. E nana kako ike ki'i oni oni. Now, you want to get real fancy and sound real Hawaiian? Put in the directional. Which way? Okay, this is a test. Is it e nana mai ike ki'i oni oni or e nana aku ike ki'i oni oni? And you're all sitting there going, I don't know, my aku could be anything. No, it's e nana aku ike ki'i oni oni. Unless you're standing right by the ki'i oni oni, or you're standing where the action has to come this way to watch the movie. Then you would say e nana mai. Okay? But if you're all sitting in the car and you're driving around and you're going, where are we going? And you say, oh, let's watch a movie. E nana aku kako ike ki'i oni oni. Yeah? That action is going away. Okay, now with all that we've practiced, with all that we've learned, I wish you a mai ka'i week. And I hope that you practice and you use this Hawaiian and you use it everywhere you go. Okay, as soon as you walk out the door, take a look around you and think, how often can I say that? What can I say when I want to say this instead? Okay, no'o, think about it. Mahalo no ko'oko nana ana mai keia polokalamu nei. And I'll see you next po'auno, next Saturday. Malama pona oko, ahui ho i ku umau kamali'i, o ku uwehi kua noni me kale aloha. Ahui ho aku, aloha.